Okay,
So,
let us begin. Good evening, everyone.
yeah,
My name is Alice Ree, and it's such a great pleasure to invite our partner guest, guest and partner, Dr. Carlo, for today's presentation. He will discuss about our compensation plan and then the introduction of the company. So I hope you join our presentation tonight. And if you have any questions, please hold it until the end of the presentation so that we can discuss further. And if since this is his very first debut as a
yeah, that's the
presenter,
word debut.
since he joined the Atomy, please give a big applause so that he can get some
Yeah.
encouragement, even though he has a lots of experience of presentation before from his professional work.
Hmm.
Okay, the stage is on yours, Dr. Kelvin.
Okay. Um. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlo. Like Rose has actually introduced me. I I have been in Korea for a while. I think a little bit more than 10 years. So I am here with my family. I got to know about Atomy sometimes last year, and since then I have had growing interest towards the business, and not just the business but also the product, because I realize for you to be able to do the business effectively, you have to actually be a customer first. Use the product, know it, so that you can be able to talk about it, very well. So I am now more of a user. I think sometime later I'm gonna be a business person because I'm not. I don't think I'm in the business level. So I'm going to talk about today about compensation plan. I decided to study about this compensation plan because I want to learn the money aspect of it. So, and I told Rose, I think I don't know it until I'm able to teach it, because I am a teacher. So I think people cannot be able to say they know it until they are able to tell it to another person. So I want to use this opportunity to actually learn it for myself as I'm trying to teach you, so we can learn together. Yeah. So today I'm going to share. I have slides of about 20 PPT of 20 slides. So I'm gonna try to say everything within 30 minutes so that you can have your time to ask questions and we can discuss. Okay. So let me share my screen. Yes. So um, last December I was able to visit Atomy Success Academy. I was actually impressed by the number of people there, by the testimonies I heard, by the product display. And before then, my wife visited ahead of me. So my wife was able to go to Atomy Park and visited some factories. So she told me a lot about Atomy, and I am really impressed. I have heard about this kind of business before, but I never really picked interest. But from what my wife has told me and the testimonies I have gotten by myself, and also my interaction with Rose and the rest of the family, I think I'm convinced this is a good uh, business. And like we said, like I said, for me, I gave this title based on my own perception. Um, my first slide says that Atomy is more than value. You understand? You know, in Atomy, we are first customers. And what customers want is something that is equal to their value. So we start by using the products. And as we're using the products, we are enjoying the value of the product. But besides enjoying the value of the product, we are also accumulating some kind of PV, which can give us advantage both now and in future. So that is why I think Atomy is more than a value. So even though we say it is absolute quality and absolute price, which means that what we produce is actually what the amount of money we pay, is what the customer really needs. It's what's the price, even more than the price. So I think it's much more than the price of a thing. So I said Atomy is more than value. This is one of my introductory listings. So what customers want is good product with good price. But for me, I think it is not only good product and good price. The value is much more than this. And secondly, we all know that to join Atomy, we don't need membership fee, we don't need entrance fee, we don't need monthly fee, we don't need any website usage fee, we don't need any purchases fee or any capital. We don't need any form of money. So this gives us a lot of advantage when we are starting. So even though we say that Atomy is customer oriented, unfortunately or fortunately, we are the first customers of Atomy. So even though we are doing the business, we are business people, we are first customers and we remain customers. That is what is interesting about Atomy. So as long as you are doing this Atomy business, you will remain Atomy customer because you are always buying from Atomy, always thinking Atomy first before there is something else. And another thing is that because we know that the market needs people and it is something that requires daily necessity, we are always on the lookout for others. So being part of Atomy will help you in maintaining a kind of friendship. You always have people around you. So I made this thing that shows people holding hands. So always many people feel lonely these days because they are by themselves or doing only thing they can do without looking out for others. But if you are a member of Atomy or doing Atomy related business, you always have yourself looking for other people, looking out for other people, or other people looking out for you. So no day or no week goes out without somebody calling you to check out what you're doing or know some of the activities that is going on. So I think Atomy is actually customer oriented, and who is the first consumer oriented, and who are the first consumers? We are the first consumers, then before others. And besides, we are always going out. It's a membership business, not just sell. We don't sell to strangers. We sell to people who are part of us. So when we sell to people, we always listen to their testimony. And we know the testimony is going to be good because remember, we are first consumer. We know what the product was all about. Secondly, I talked about orientation. I mean, I realized that for somebody to actually be a good or to be successful in Atomy business, you have to change your mindset. You have to change the orientation of your, shopping. You have to do what is described as more change. More change means whenever you think about an item to buy or to purchase, you have to first check out if that item can be found in Atomy. If it can be found in Atomy, then you go for it. Why will you go for it? You go for it because you know of the absolute quality, right? And the absolute price. Then you are also on a target to get your PV so that you can be able to, make some extra money from buying the product. So we start as consumers purchasing some items, right? We go for more change. This more change is one of the things I think that will help us because somewhere along the line, I've realized there is what we call personal PV and the PV of people on your right and your left. So for you to be able to have personal PVs, it means you have to be buying things also by yourself, I think. So this is also very, very vital. A lot of people are not understanding it that way. And I think somehow we have to provide all this kind of emphasis so that people will know more about it. Then the next step is to register, which is what most of us have done here. You register as a distributor. And I checked out how do you become a distributor? Well, once your name is registered there, just buy one item in a year and your name will never go out. Your name will remain there. But if you register and you don't buy any item for 1 year, I heard your name can disappear. So let's start by purchasing something and putting Atomy into test. Then here comes the main thing, which is how do we make money? How do we make money? We make money whenever we make purchases, right? Anytime you make purchases in Atomy, you are actually making money. Even though the money trickles in bits, at the end of the day, it's going to accumulate. And maybe go to the level where you will not be able to, you never thought it could be. I am a regular user of Costco. For the past 10 years, I've been using Costco as a person because I have a very large family. So we buy things in a large amount. In Costco, there is always some points which we gather almost on each purchases. But unlike Atomy, Costco is a different thing. So those points at the end of the year, most of them are transferred into cash. And the cash you can use to buy back from things from Costco. So I have a little bit of idea how these things work. The same thing works in eMart as well as Home Plus and the rest of them. But Atomy is a very unique case because we are not only buyers, we are part of the system. Then finally, the last part, there is a level where you have to get here. Obviously, you have to have a center where you educate yourself and educate others. I think for us to be able to educate others, we have to educate ourselves, which is what I'm doing. You are seeing me as somebody who is talking, but I'm actually teaching myself because I took some time to prepare this. And while I was preparing this, that is how I have learned, the details that I am going to share with you. So that's why I made this title. There is a orientation. There is a kind of mindset that we have to have. And this is the mindset. This is the process, how it goes. It starts like this and ends like this. And for people who are well established, those who are like Sharon Rose and the rest of them, most of them always end up having center of education. If they don't have center of education, they know where they have to go when it is time to educate their people, their followers. So please, so far, I'm going to summarize at the end of the day, the aspect I think needs to be re-emphasized. Then here comes the main thing. They call this compensation plan, but I don't think it is compensation plan actually. It is actually profit distribution. How do we distribute the profit that is made in Atomy? How does the profit go? Unlike conventional businesses, in Atomy, we are both consumers, customers, as well as business owners. We own Atomy together according to the structure. So there is a general commission which everybody shares. Everybody has a right. And that's one you can get on daily basis. Then there is also master's bonus, which is about 20% of the whole profit. The other one is 44%. This one is 20%. And the master's bonus comes every 2 weeks. And also there is educational commission. This is for those who have educational centers. That is a kind of support they receive to be able to pay their bills and then sustain that center. Then also operational costs. And also there is mastership promotion, which is what you get when you attend a certain level. So it comes a lot in form of gift. So if you check out, this is about 44% plus 6%, that is about 50%. Then plus another 20% here, so we have about 30% left here. So this 30% is what goes, whenever you get a certain level, money that comes from there is used in, clapping hands for you and telling you welcome to the group. And as I mentioned, the marketing structure in Atomy is binary, which means once you are registered, you have to think about how to register another person. And there is something I realize as we are getting older, because we have had a lot of experiences and kind of issues, or because we are too busy, we stop looking out for others. We don't want to know how another person is doing. We are pursuing our things. But if you're interested in Atomy business, you always find yourself looking out for people, right? Anybody you see that looks like he can use what you are producing in Atomy, you want to go out for him. And this was the kind of mindset we had when we were younger. That was why we had a lot of friends. But now, many of us don't have friends anymore. We don't have as much as friends as we used to be, as you used to have. So I will encourage us to, for you to be successful, man. This is not a business you register and you go and sit down. You actually have to, when you register, you have to look out for others and then register more and more people. So the more people you have on your downline, the better for you. and the more money you make. Okay, so let's go to the main thing. Point value. I want to talk about point value today because we're talking about making commission, point value. Anytime you buy anything from Atomy using an ID, whether it is yours or your neighbors or anyone's, once that person is registered, there is a point value, a PV that will accrue from that item. And that PV, depending on the source, will either appear on your right or on your left. And when you make your personal purchases also, you also accumulate some PV by yourself. So let's say you have this kind of sample, you purchased a toothpaste and you purchased a lot of them, and you have like 290 PV on your left and about 350 on your right, and your personal PV is about 300. On this week, you are not going to receive any payment. Why? We need to have a minimum of 3,000 PV here, 300,000 PV here, 300,000 PV here, and 300,000 PV here, right? But if by next week, this one was able to be up to 300, right? Like we have it here. And this one, okay, a little bit more than 300. And you have 300 here. Wow. You have made your first hit. You can now receive your first payment. Remember, it is calculated daily and paid weekly. So if you make money today, you make tomorrow, and you make next tomorrow, you make by the end of the week, they put it together and you get your pay, right? So if you are an active Atomy business person, you are making money while you are roaming around because people are purchasing things on your ID. And how does that money actually go? So this is how it goes. This is you here at the center. This is your personal PV. The PV you accrued from buying things. And this is PV also that is accrued by your left for people and from your left side who are also making purchases, because when anybody makes purchases, the PV doesn't go to only you. Some portion of it goes to people on your upper line, while you also get some part of it. The same thing happens in the left right. So until you are able to make your first money, you will not be considered as a business person in Atomy. So, but when you make that 300, that is when Atomy will consider you as an agent. You are no longer a consumer, now you are an agent. Why? Because some people will have this and we never make this thing up to 300. They don't care. They don't register. Or some people will even have zero here. Why they have 200,000 here, 200,000 here. They don't know they actually need something here to be able to make use of both left and right. So, and for having up to 300 PV points, 1,000, it is converted into 50 points. So, which means about 5,000 PV is 1 point, right? 5,000 PV is 1 point, and which means about $1, right, is 5,000 PV. So if you see an item carrying like 5,000 PV, it is equivalent of you making like $1 already. So I try to make this calculation so that, because a lot of time people say relatively. I know it is relatively, but I want to just know relative to which figure. Now I know it's about $5,000, $1. So if I'm buying an item that has like 10,000 PV, that's about $2. So I can try to factor in the cost of that thing and see if it will give me what I like. That is my own kind of thinking. So that's it. And you make, for the first time, you are coming with about $60. Remember, daily but paid weekly. That's the first hit. And if by next week you are able to hit 700,000 on both 3 levels, you go to level 3, special agent, and you'll be receiving like 1,200. The row continues until you get to special dealer, but at some level, you become a unique person. People call exclusive dealers. Those exclusive dealers are people who are able to produce 2.5 4 million on both sides of their listing, on both PVs. And their personal PV is also up to 2.4. One thing about this area is when you hit this area, about 2.46 million up to 50 million, you can get up to 1,200. Somebody will ask, how about when you get 60 million? No, 50 million is the maximum you can get. Why? The owner of the business made it in such a way that, there has to be a peak. If you get there, you stay there and wait for others. So you cannot make more than $1,200 from this general commission on daily basis. So if you get here, you can no longer make the listing. So this is why we made this kind of, the benefit method is such that in most companies, the traditional multi-level marketing models, the people at the peak earn most of the money. But the owner of the business made it in such a way that at some time you have to get to your peak and other people will join you. The reason is that I heard Mr. Park wants to make more millionaires. He wants to have so many millionaires rather than having a billionaire. We have those where Amazon, who is a billionaire. We have James Bose, who is also a billionaire. But he doesn't want those kind of structure. He wants a structure where he can produce so many millionaires. So as you are getting better, you have to get to a point where other people will join you. Then what are the levels? Then these are the progressive levels, right? First, when you hit that point, special agent, you become the sales master. From sales master, you go to diamond master to Sharon Rose master, then to star master, royal master, crown master, and imperial master. Yeah, and I learned our team leader and our sponsor, Rose, is a Sharon master, so she is in this level. Then what happens when you reach this level? So let's look at that one a little bit in detail. And if you check, before we go to the next slide, I want you to notice that when it comes to the bonuses, the greater bonuses goes to the people who are lower. You can see about 10% goes here. We calculated 20%, right? Goes to the sales masters, 5% here, 2% here, 2.5%, but the bigger guys get less of the bonuses. Okay. So what happens when you finally get to a certain level? First, we started with special agent, who is a sales master. So the first time you hit the level of sales master, you are expected to have about 2.4 million or 2.5 million PV on both sides. And you are expected to have on your own personal PV about 700K or thereabout. Then you become a special agent, right? On that day, you are going to be receiving like $300 as your day weekly for achieving that feat on a weekly basis. At the end of the every week. So that is it. And when you get to the next level, there is Sharon Rose, right? Which is the next level after achieving the sales master. For you to do that, you have to be able to reproduce yourself, right? You no longer have to produce enormous number of PV on this side, And this is where the challenge lies. For me, when I studied this thing, I'm like, okay, no wonder. If you are doing this business, you have to be carrying people along with you, because at certain point, you will need those people who are very active on both sides to be able to get to the next level. So this is not a business one does and say, okay, I can run all by myself, I get to the end. You always look out for others. So you have to carry your friends, just like, we are doing. So from then on, the business becomes reproducing people by your side. How many leaders are you able to produce? How many people with greater commitment and service are you producing for Atomy? So this is what is happening here. When you produce 2 persons by the right this side and 2 persons by the right this side, you move to the next level, which is Sharon Rose. Then duplicate the same thing here, you move to the next level. Duplicate it both sides, you move to the next level. So I want to emphasize again, this is the main reason why this race is not for only one person. If you are a loner, somebody who wants to be successful all by yourself, Atomy may not be for you. But Many people think they cannot be able to carry others along, but at the end of the day, I think you're gonna be so the title here says success by lifting others. So once you hit a certain level, your success will depend on other people. So the more people you lift, the more successful you are going to be, or the more likely that you will get to the next level. So what happens when somebody makes it to the level of a sales master? Usually Atomy will always say congratulations and say thank you in terms of bonus when you make it at every level. So if you hit the level of a sales master, besides the money you will make as your general commission, Atomy is going to give you a gift. And the first gift comes like Atomy Absolute Set, skin set, right? And also Atomy Evening Set. This was the first Atomy item we ordered. I tested it, it was good, so we ordered it. So this is how they will welcome you. And this is besides the other general commission you're making, right? So how about when you hit the next level? What do you get? If you hit the next level, then the gift improves. There is a laptop or iPad that is attached to the one that you receive. And remember, these gifts are actually one time. So once you hit a certain mastership, it is given to you once. So even if you replicate that feat 10 times, you will not receive this kind of thing. You can only receive the general commission, but not the bonus that comes with your new level. Then when you get to the next level, Sharon Rose, which is the level of our leader, you get about 2 travel tickets, which means you and your spouse can travel. Then plus $1,800 cash to say welcome, besides the daily money you are getting. In fact, from my calculation, I realized that people working in Atomy, instead of being paid once a month, you know how many times people earn money? 6 times in a month. There is this one that comes every day and you are paid at the end of the week, right? And there is this one that comes twice a week, a month, or once in 2 weeks, which is twice a distance. So you earn money 6 times every month. So no matter how, even if it is $500 that you're earning like that, that's not a cheap amount. So let's go to the next level. When you get to the next level, which is Star Master, the bonus doubles. It kind of goes to like 5 times. I think 1,800. You get like $9,000. Then plus 4 travel tickets, which means this time you have to carry you and your spouse plus maybe another friend. Then you keep working harder. Get to the next level, Royal Master. Here comes the bigger thing. 4 travel tickets, and 10 nights in the hotel, plus car rental, which means when you get out of the hotel, you want to go anywhere, there is money for you to, get out wherever you go. Then, and you have about $1,800 on credit card that will be issued to you for expenses. Then plus $48,000 cash to you. When I visited Rose, we wanted to buy something. She said, "Oh yeah, Kevin, don't worry. This is Atomy money." So I'm like, "Okay, yeah." So these are money that are meant for promotional expenses, right? Expenses that can come from your activities. Then when you get to Crown Master, this becomes another even much bigger. Travel tickets, car, you get a luxury car. I think the luxury car they said is at least more than $20,000 car. Then plus $4,800 on your credit card for promotional expenses. Remember, most of these people on mastership level, they always have something like center, right? So they will always be running expenses on the center and the rest of the expenses. Then finally, you get to the level where you are the main person. I mean, this is where everybody dreams to get to, where you become a kind of imperial master. So you get like 4 travel tickets, 10 nights and 11 days, luxury car with personal driver, 10,000 USD card credit per month for promotional expenses, an office about 1,700 square feet, and you are going to have personal assistance. So this is how much you're going, this is about, and you are getting a cash of about 1 million US dollar, right? It's a hell of money, right? So this one is too much. And to summarize it, I made this last post. As you are working hard to get to the top in Atomy, you find yourself always buying things that relate to Atomy. One of the things I realized from the first day I heard about Atomy till today, the presence of Atomy in my house has been increasing. And each time I look at those things, I don't only see them as products which I'm using and enjoying, I also see them as something that will give me money in future, right? So all my spending is accumulating and one day is going to translate into money, right? So even though there are people who are ahead of me, I don't have to be scared. I don't have to be worried. Why? Because those people are always on the lookout. When I saw this one, I saw this picture in Atomy. I said, yeah, this is what it's all about. If you check out very well, those who are higher than you in Atomy, they're always coming back to check on you, right? Always checking on you, how you're doing. They want to take you with them. So, because why? They know their success will depend on your success. So, what does Atomy end up doing? Atomy ends up uniting us as friends, making us as family, right? Breaking all barriers. People from east, from west, from north and south coming together because of one purpose. And at the end of the day, we will all end up becoming better because we are going to meet people who are of different culture, people who are of different tribe and tradition, and we will learn more about how things work. And we will become much more loving. So I think in the process of being an effective Atomy business person, you are actually going to build a lot of fortune for yourself, especially the human resources fortune. So besides the money you have as an Atomy member, you will have people you are always sure will always be your friend anytime, any day. Because there is no how you'll be talking to somebody. Since the day I met Rose till today and the rest of them, I don't remember. I mean, this week was the longest that we stayed without me hearing her voice or, trying to chat with her. Not just her, Alice, and the rest of the people who are here. So even Judith, I've not seen Judith for a very long time, but when I was making this PPT, I just realized, oh, well, I've got some friends I always need to check out on every day. Not only because I like it, but because they are part of my future. And I think this is just what life is all about. We didn't come here to just run this race and end successful all by ourselves. We want to take others with us. So this is the much I could say for today. And thank you guys for listening. I promised 30 minutes. I think I've just done 30 minutes. So I will turn off the slide so we can see each other, and probably if you have any questions, we try to share together. Thank you for joining.